Welcome to episode 164. I'm Jason Schulte.
I'm Sean McFadden.
And I'm Mike Ansett.
So there's no whole lot to talk about again with movies for May because there's no movies coming out in May due to world pandemic. So, but in other news, I did find some other really good, cool pieces of news, is Georgia is actually reopening theaters May 1st. So I don't know exactly what they'll be playing, but they'll be open. Princess Bride is coming to Disney Plus. So for those of you who need another way to watch Princess Bride, you'll be able to jump in and watch it on Disney Plus. And Warner Brothers has moved a bunch of its movies. Wonder Woman had already been moved to August. Their Sopranos prequel has moved to March 21. The Batman, the film that's going to be in the DCU, has been moved to October of 21. Shazam 2 has moved to November of 22, so we'll be waiting a while for that.
Oof.
And then Flash, they actually moved up a month to June of 22 instead of August of 22. So I don't know if that's just for a spacing or if they've got other films from the Warner Brothers that they wanted to move to August that maybe was to take place of Flash. So
I was going to say, didn't Flash get canceled?
No, I don't think it got canceled.
That's what I heard with the whole Ezra Miller thing going on there, that the Flash project was now canceled.
Still listed in their list of projects. So.
People are easily replaced, Sean.
Oh.
What about the Black Adam movie? Isn't that coming soon?
I didn't have anything on that one.
Okay.
There might be just wait. I'm guessing there'll be a major shuffle when things start opening up again, and then everyone will start trying to jockey for where they want their movies to released.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm okay with them stretching it out a bit because production has virtually been halted on everything as well. So there's going to be this void of nothing new for the last couple months too. It's already starting to impact TV shows. Grey's Anatomy is on an early hiatus because of it, and other shows are following. So that's all I had for movies information.
Yeah, it's pretty simple right now, unfortunately.
I'm anticipating June to be a little bit better. I think that we'll hopefully start seeing some stuff moving again.
There's a good amount of movies that are going just straight to
streaming or DVD.
Streaming or DVD or I think I just read today that the new Scooby-Doo movie is going straight to a service to purchase and rent or whatever.
I didn't even know there was a new Scooby-Doo movie in the works.
Yeah, it's like a new it's like a high budget animated one. It's not one of the like straight to DVD ones. It's so
okay.
That would put us to DVDs.
All right. Well, we actually do have some. Week of May 5th, we've got Gretel and Hansel, of course, the horror take there. We've got Bloodshot with Vin Diesel coming out as well.
And that's been streaming on a lot of places already.
Is it? Okay. Say, Bloodshot looks to me like they took Spawn and RoboCop and kind of blended it together, but that's just me. Ordinary Love with Liam Neeson and Leslie Manville. That's the couple has to do with the news of her breast cancer there. Week of May 12th, we've got Birds of Prey, which I will see. It's just I wanted to see this in the theater, but the girlfriend was fighting me every step of the way. She didn't want to see this one.
No, that one's already out digitally as well, I'm pretty sure.
Fantasy Island comes out. The Traitor comes out as well, which is an interesting one from the bumper to the actual trailer, because reading the bumper, it's like, okay, a mafia family deciding how to run their drug trade. And then you watch the trailer and it's like, oh, this is based on a true story about a guy who snitched on the family and just how crazy everything was there.
Yeah, just to backtrack a little bit to Fantasy Island, I mean, once again, I'm still a little disappointed that they had this opportunity to make a really good horror film and then chose to make it PG-13. But like,
we don't know that it wasn't good being PG-13 though.
Yeah, it just.
I don't know. Like if you tout yourself as a horror film, like I think more often than not, I think you need to at least get that R rating to give yourself some liberty as to what you're doing. So I don't know. That's just me.
So it's going to be a lot of implied horror instead of actual horror.
No.
I mean, Hitchcock did it just fine.
I guess, but that was the 50s, bro.
Week of May 19th, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nice.
Yeah, which I wanted to see, but of course everything hit the fan. So, couldn't see that in the theater.
You would have been lined up for opening night. You would have been able to.
And already released on Disney Plus, Onward comes out.
Can we talk about that? Maybe later. Just remind me.
Now is fine.
Okay. What's your thoughts, man?
That movie's amazing.
It was actually a lot better than I was expecting.
It's probably top 5 Pixar movie for me, at least. I thought
I'm not sure I'd go that hard on it, but it was a lot better than I was expecting.
I don't know.
my brother took my son, who's soon to be 10, and we were a little worried because you could kind of get from the tone of the movie, the storyline with the father. He really struggles with the idea that I won't be here one day. So we were just really worried that would diminish it for him. But I guess he came through it like a champ and was really engaged in the story. So that does kind of attest that they were able to create a story that didn't completely focus on what you would suspect is going to happen with that.
Yeah,
that's cool. Then we have also the week of May 19th, The Way Back, with Ben Affleck, which I, of course, said before, Ben Affleck really reaching here, playing a man with a drinking problem.
And once again, now going the other direction, they made this an R-rated film when it felt like it could have been better suited for an audience in the PG-13 range.
I agree, but we don't know quite what's in that movie yet.
I think it would have for sure been, what's the word? I think you would have heard more buzz and just more word of mouth talk about it if it was PG-13. I don't know.
Maybe.
No.
Then we have Wildlife with Jake Gyllenhaal. Family fighting wildfires and each other. And
that doesn't even sound funny.
It's not supposed to be funny at all, but evidently it won like some Cannes Film Festival awards. So it's very much drama. It's very much, and it's kind of looking through the trailers that you're kind of looking at it through their, I'm going to guess, like early teenage son, maybe mid-teenage son, that dad is pretty much had like kind of a midlife crisis and he's going to fight these wildfires. and mom kind of looks like she's being a little unfaithful on the whole thing. So that's putting the kid in the strain of, between the two of them. Week of May 26th, we've got The Invisible Man, which it looks interesting, looks intriguing, and
I thought it looked pretty good. Actually,
I'm going to check this one out when it rolls around. And then to cap our month off here, we've got Endings, Beginnings. And just listen to this one. Daphne must choose between two different men who appeal to different sides of her. We've seen this movie about 400 times already, haven't we?
Say at least about 600.
Yeah, it's 400 this month. And that's
that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood, though, man. And you just recycle stories, and some of them are better. Some of them are better than others. I mean, usually the original one is the best, but.
But that is your DVD releases.
Cool.
Video games is next.
Video games. May video game releases.
By the way, I got a bone to pick with you there, Mike.
Yeah, we'll get to the Minecraft dungeons. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What? No.
What?
Actually, my bone to pick with you was something that you would not have known at all. I was going to give you crap about me not knowing about the XCOM game that's coming out very soon here, but they only announced it on the 10th, so you wouldn't have known last month.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna bring that up, especially since that was one of those surprise releases for video games. So, is it out yet? I think
no. It comes out on Friday.
Okay, so just for our listeners, this is a new expansion for XCOM 2 that kind of secretly dropped. What?
It's not an expansion. It's a standalone
DLC. Oh, it's a standalone.
Not DLC. It's a standalone game.
Oh, well, whatever. It says XCOM 2. So
you can say it's. I don't know. I've got it pre-ordered and everything, and yeah.
Well, whatever. Regardless, new XCOM coming this month for all you turn-based fans. Anyway, I do want to normally don't go with mobile pickings, but this one is pretty cool. Forza Street comes out for iOS and Android. Forza Street comes out for iOS and Android, which is on May 5th. And Forza, I believe this is the same people. It is a Microsoft Studios. It's not Playground Games or Turn 10 who do make the Forza stuff, but it is in the same vein as Forza. And it did have a PC release on April 15th, but now it's coming to Android, and it is free to play. So if you want a pretty decent racer on your mobile, go ahead and check that out. We also have John Wick Hex coming out for the PlayStation 4 on May 5th. This is another one that has already been released on PC, but this is one of the this game got pretty good reviews, and for the most part, all the reviews said that for the most part you feel like John Wick as you're playing through the game. So,
which is important.
Yes, very important. It's got to hit that style, hit that feel, and I'm interested to see it played on a controller, because I'd almost feel that, like, with the variations and the options that you have with PC, might feel a little bit different. But anyway, May 7th, Sonic at the Olympic Games on iOS and Android. Tokyo 2020 comes out May 7th. Skipping down here to a game that I grew up loving and played all the time on my N64. We have Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Nice.
A new version, an updated version of the original Star Wars Pod Racer. I played it in arcades a lot, and that's coming to PlayStation 4 and Switch. So May 12th. So yeah, it's just kind of got updated graphics and everything, but still the same feel, still pretty much the same game, which is really cool.
Mike, answer me this question.
Yes.
Multiplayer support across.
You mean crossplay? You're asking?
No, I'm not asking about crossplay. I'm like, can we do online multiplayer with it?
I do believe that there's gonna be an option. There's not much on this right now, at least as far as news and everything. But it did come out on PC, and it should have. While both versions support local split screen multiplayer, the Switch version gives players the ability to compete in LAN races using multiple Switch consoles. So actually, no, it does not look like it has online multiplayer, according to this article. So
missed opportunity.
I think I kind of agree with that.
Another missed opportunity is they should have allowed for customized pods.
That would be solid too.
That'd be cool.
It wouldn't take much. I mean, you do it in car racing games. Why can't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that'd be a pretty slick entry into the Star Wars franchise for sure.
All right, what else we got?
This game is funny. Have you guys heard of this? It's called Maneater. It is a shark RPG.
Nice.
You're controlling a shark, and basically you going through the ocean, doing quests and stuff to upgrade your shark, and eventually you're eating man as well, and just it's a full-fledged shark RPG. I kid you not. coming out PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on May 22nd. So
that's so ridiculous. I may have to check it out.
Yeah. So far, the articles that I've seen, like the previews and stuff, some people have been really having fun with it, at least. So, which is funny, but it's just funny that 2020, the year 2020, you're saying shark RPG in the same sentence. It's just funny.
I like it.
A remaster for Saints Row the Third comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on May 22nd as well. All you anime fans here, got an anime game for you. Sword Art Online, Alicization, Lycoris. That's the full name. Comes to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on May 22nd. Now, last podcast we did talk about Minecraft Dungeons. That did actually get pushed back, so it is coming out May 26th now.
That's starting to scare me.
I think it'll be okay. I think May 26th is. I think just because of the quarantine and everything, they had to kind of push development back because everybody would start getting into their homes for development. So, finally, not finally. Sorry, we got a few more. We got a game called Ninjala coming out to the Switch. This is from the developers of Splatoon. It's their new game, basically family-friendly brawler, melee focused, and the objective is that each person has balloons attached to them, and your goal is to pop the balloons. So
reminds me of old Mario Kart battle mode.
I know, right? All right, and then we do have some re-releases, but I think it is important for the Switch to shout these out. May 29th, you have 4 re-releases and remasters for the Switch. You have Bioshock Collection coming to the Switch. I believe it's all 3. It's going to be Infinite, Bioshock 1, and Bioshock 2. You also have Borderlands Legendary Collection. This one does not include number 3, just includes the original, the pre-sequel, and Borderlands 2.
Still good.
With all the DLC and stuff?
Really good package. All the DLC. It is the Legendary Collection, so it's gonna have everything on it. It includes 3 complete games and all add-on content.
The pre-sequel 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's not bad.
No, not a bad gig.
Plus, Borderlands 2 was just for me, was the pinnacle of that series. It was fantastic.
Okay. And then coming up next is XCOM 2 for the Switch, coming out May 29th as well. We already said that. So XCOM 2 for the Switch. That's really good. The Switch is a fantastic place for turn-based strategy games. So XCOM 2 is perfect home there.
And then XCOM 2 is a fantastic game. It's so good.
Yeah. I don't. Let me just let me click on this link here, see if it has. Let's see here. Just trying to see if it has like all the DLC. Let's see. Okay, yep. The XCOM 2 collection holds XCOM 2, The War of the Chosen expansion, and 4 DLC packs.
Ooh.
So it's gonna have pretty much the full package. Finally, on that same day, you have another Switch remaster. It is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I think that it's good that they're re-releasing this on the Switch, because this was a Wii U game exclusively, and so Wii U just didn't have a good install base, and the Switch does. So I think you'll have a lot of more fresh eyes on this, especially since Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out for the Switch and was pretty well received. So I do believe that this one will be well received as well. So that's video games for the month. There was some other ones in there that I just skipped just because I don't think it's too much on at least our radars. So, but yeah, you got some decent choices there. I think for the most part, I'm looking forward to Minecraft Dungeons as well as the Pod Racer re-release. What do you guys think?
I'm all about the Minecraft Dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued on the Racer, and I'm really hoping that they add some online multiplayer to it. Because if they throw online multiplayer on it, I know at least 2 other people that I can con into a race now. So,
yeah, I would definitely race you in that. But yeah, it's gonna be some exciting stuff coming. Minecraft Dungeons, it would be nice to have it on my Switch, but I have Game Pass for Xbox, so it will just go straight into Game Pass. So I think I'll just download it there and start playing. So, yeah. That is your video game releases.
Movie classic, and it was your pick, Mike.
It was indeed. Seems like I'm talking a lot. I decided that I wanted a lighthearted movie and I wanted a kids movie. I've just been. What?
Okay, continue.
Okay, I chose Tarzan by Disney. Okay, there's some rough spots in there. All right, Jay, I hear you. And maybe not super lighthearted, but I just wanted a kids movie. Wanted for us to move past some of the more adult stuff and just talk about a kids movie. So Tarzan, if you guys don't know, this guy is raised by apes, and bada boom means Jane, and that's kind of where it goes.
Bada boom meets Jane. Best transition in our history ever.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's halfway into the movie, but yeah.
Bada boom, Jay. Bada boom.
I mean, he pretty much says that. He doesn't know how to speak English yet. He's like, ooh, Jane, But no, to fill it out a little bit, you see kind of Tarzan's growth within the family of the apes, and just you see the leader of the apes kind of show some resentment because he lost his son at the beginning of the movie. This leader ape and his ape wife. I don't know how you talk about that.
His mate.
Huh?
His mate.
Yes, his mate finds Tarzan. And Tarzan is just this baby, just chilling in a baby carrier or like a bassinet of some sort, where his parents have passed. So, and then Tarzan is raised by the ape, the mom ape there, and yeah, then you got his you kind of got his growth into becoming more respected within the ape community, and then sort of what happens a lot in history, humans arrive. And that's kind of where you get kind of the push towards the end of the movie and the climax. So, guys,
Bada boom, Jane.
Yeah, bada boom, Jane. Do you like Tarzan? What sound off, friends?
Jay, go ahead.
Well, I gave the look because this isn't. I don't really. So I don't believe the people who gave this a G rating actually watched it, because there's no way that this should be G. I mean, it's, as you mentioned, the apes lose their son eaten by a panther, and then Tarzan loses his parents by the same panther or lion, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So the perfect match is that now the ape lost their son, so he doesn't have parents, so they take him in. That scene alone is pretty, I don't know, above a G level. And then there's another scene that involves a bad guy that is also fairly, in my mind, though you don't see it directly, it's implied that a certain event happens to him. That also is,
You're talking about the vines and the tree.
Correct.
Yep. I had to point that out to my daughter when she and I watched that, and she just turned on me with a whole face.
So I'm not. These are, since I made the face, I thought I had to explain.
No, it's okay.
I reacted to your lighthearted because I think there's elements of this that aren't as lighthearted as you would expect from a Disney film.
Yeah.
And I question how it got a G rating, because there's films way less that get PG ratings. The story itself is pretty good. At times I was forgetting if I was watching Jungle Book or watching Tarzan, because it kind of felt interchangeable at times. But
especially the camp scene where the apes stumble into the human camp.
Speaking of that scene, let me check on something here. Let me check. Look at it. I have the camp scene.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear it?
Again.
Can't hear it.
I can't really hear it either.
Are you sharing your sound through the?
We'll just stop. That's fine.
So rewind.
So, yeah, Jay, you were saying.
You were talking about the camp scene.
No, I was just saying that you felt like the interchangeable with Jungle Book, and that was the scene that popped up in my head because that felt a very Jungle Book-esque moment there.
Yeah.
And there was a couple scenes with snakes that I felt kind of were like, yep, very Jungle Book-ish. He tied him into a knot around a tree. I mean,
it's a solid Disney move.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the film. This was the first time I actually watched it ever.
Really?
So this was a kind of new experience. So
this is the first time you've ever seen Tarzan. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it came out at a time where I was in that 20s age, so I wouldn't have watched it as a kid. It came out in 1999. So I didn't watch it, and I know my son had watched it a couple times, and but I hadn't ever sat down and watched it. So it was kind of a fresh. Those are my fresh eyes takes on something I had never watched. Was that it was a little surprising in how gruesome it was, and at times it reminded me of Jungle Book. But I enjoyed the movie, and maybe small drawback is it's very predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, this is one of those stories that's been around for practically since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, you have prior material on it.
Yeah.
But
still, it was enjoyable to watch. It had a good soundtrack.
Yeah, Phil Collins really working his magic there.
I think this is one of the best Disney soundtracks because of Phil Collins.
Dude, I love Phil, but I don't know that I'd give it best movie soundtrack.
But did I say best movie soundtrack? No. I said it's one of the best Disney ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll sound off here. Tarzan, I think I won't fight it being in the classic status. And as Jay said, it is an enjoyable movie. It's one of the movies that I think people kind of forget is even on the Disney lineup. That, you get lost on the big names, like the Lion King, Aladdin, things like that. People forget that Tarzan was in that same era as well, I actually I hadn't watched this movie in quite some time there, but very enjoyable and very, very Disney in the animation style, with the very soft lines on pretty much everything. Especially like Tarzan and his hair there, where he like almost has dreadlocks in the entire time there. But it's a good movie. It's a lot of voice talent from across the board there. Rosie O'Donnell playing Turk, his little gorilla friend. The elephant, whose name I can't remember right now, the actor from Seinfeld. I'm just completely spacing on. But anyway, outside of that, it's just some solid voice acting across there. And despite the fact that Jay is correct, it is a little predictable there. It's at least quite entertaining there. And it's always solid in the fact that who the villain is right from the very beginning, even if the characters don't. Right away. But I think my favorite part that I never really quite noticed before was Tarzan imitating the sound of a gun. That I caught this time. Cool. I was like, I see what you did there. So
it was Wayne Knight, by the way.
Wayne Knight, thank you. It was gonna bother me. But yeah, I think it's a solid pick. I think it gets forgotten, honestly, sometimes because Disney made it and they've produced a lot of good stuff over the years. I'm glad we reviewed it and kind of brought it back into the picture a little bit there. I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah. So I grew up watching this film. It released in 1999, and I was 7 years old. So I watched it.
You were a little older.
Yeah. So I started watching it pretty much right away. And I believe, in my opinion, that at least the soundtrack is one of the best in Disney. But I think Phil Collins just did a outstanding job of creating a balance of storytelling within his soundtrack and relating to the scenes that you're watching as well. But I think this movie as a whole, yes, it is predictable. I I think about this movie kind of like an action film, man. Like Tarzan is kind of the superhero, and that's kind of the feeling that I get from it. But overall, I do think there are some better stories that Disney has told. I think there's better voice acting that Disney has had. But I don't dispute that. It's a very good story. It's definitely a Disney classic. And just after rewatching it, I see some nitpicky stuff there, here and there. And I agree with you, Jay. There's some scary stuff in there, like some PG definitely rated stuff. And like the villain in the film, you kind of see it. See it coming, obviously. But
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's just straight up like, no, guys, this is our villain for the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't think the best story in this is Tarzan and Jane, or even Tarzan's kind of figuring out his human side. I really think it's his relationship with Kerchak, the leader of the ape family there. That story is just amazing. To see a passing of the torch type deal is really cool. So I think this is a classic.
And I think what you're somewhat dancing around a little bit is in this movie, the definition of what your family is changing. And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
For Tarzan, his definition of family comes under question. But in the end, he finds out that he was more accepted than he thought. And I think there's times in our life where we all experience that. So that would be my interpretation of what you were getting at, was
sure
his interpretation of what family really meant.
I agree. You're smarter than me. So but yeah, I love this film. I really obviously 92 I was born, and that was the year Lion King came out, so like just these Disney movies are just kind of my go-tos. Like I'm not really gonna pop in the VHS of Pinocchio or like Snow and the White.
Snow and the White, yeah. Sounds like a new indie band coming.
Yeah. Snow White or something like that. These are the Disney movies I flock to. And I think Tarzan is a heavy hitter amongst other heavy hitters. So
all right, I'll stand by and say it's a solid pick, and if you've not seen it, it's worth a watch.
I'm with you on that.
Hey,
and it's Disney, so I mean, what Disney film doesn't probably fit our our qualifications once they're 10 years old? So
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, Disney has a pretty decent track record, that's for sure.
You know what? I think that company might make it. I think they might.
Yeah, I think they're doing well for themselves. Might need to buy some stock in that.
Oh, okay.
All right. What have we been up to lately? So this will get a groan, I'm sure, from Sean again as I bring this up, but my wife and I have started watching Big Bang Theory from the beginning.
That's a good show. Yes, it is.
No.
He's offended by it, so I'm apparently easily offended. But
it's because the quality of the jokes is above his pay grade.
Anyways, I've
trust me, Sean, it's above mine too, man. I look at some of those jokes and I'm just like, why are people laughing? It's just
because there's a laugh track.
So we're about 8 episodes in, and I'll say half of them I really enjoyed and half of them are mediocre. So, but really all the stories are centered around Leonard at the beginning in the first season, And and as the series goes on, because I've seen some of the later episodes, it starts branching out to more characters having more individualized stories. And so I think that's why some of it's hit or miss, because it's all focused on only one story. What made Friends great is there was 4 stories going on simultaneously, and those
in
4
every
stories,
single episode.
yeah, and then it would all converge at moments, and then it'd all break out, and then it would converge, and that's what made those episodes feel so full. And I know that Big Bang Theory will get there. It's just this first season is not there yet.
And keep in mind, the first season of Friends is the worst season, in my opinion, like comparatively. So I think Friends only gets better.
I think the first and the last are the worst, in my opinion.
Well, yeah.
I also have been, I'm 1 episode away from being done with the first season of Star Trek Discovery, and it hit a spot in the middle of that season where I was like, why am I watching this? And it's back to, this is pretty cool. They turned it around a bit. And then Games with Gold this month, we got Knights of Pen and Paper 1 and 2 on the Xbox. And I've been playing that. And do either of you two know what that game is?
I'm familiar. I haven't played too much.
Okay. So you're actually playing an RPG, and the GM is sitting at the table, and you have your character sitting at a table, and the background scenery changes by your location, and the GM tells you the story, and then you go fight the monster, or you go collect the apples, and so your characters are sitting there, but then it's more like an old turn-based RPG game where you would click on, I want to attack, and then he would attack, or I want to defend, and then he would defend. So I've been being amused by it so far. The one thing that was a grind is if you die, you have to pay gold to get resurrected, and it's really hard to earn gold early in the game. So like I stepped into a little bit too aggressively into a fight, and my whole party died, and you get the rogue to recover for free, and then you have to like grind out money to get the other ones back. So that was kind of not real fun, and I probably should have just started the game over because I wasn't that far in. But the other thing I was going to mention is last episode I mentioned Gang Beast that my son played. I'm going to mention Snaky Bus because he insisted to buy Snaky Bus. And in this game, you're a bus driving around various maps, and you pick up people. And as you pick up people and drop them off, your bus grows like infinitely, hundreds of cars. It's like it becomes a train around the map. And the second you stop, your train blows up of buses. So it's a confined map, so you have to like jump over your own like tail, and try to find open areas to go move around while trying to pick up passengers and drop them off. It is very limited in its playability because within like 4 hours, he unlocked all the achievements, all the boards, all the maps, all the buses in 4 hours of gameplay. And then he's like, hasn't really played it since. So,
what was your price point on that?
It was like $12.
Oh, okay. So
but
not bad.
I played it about 3 times, and I was like, okay, great, I'm done. So,
yeah.
Not high on my list even for $12.
Yeah.
But we did get an easy 1,000 gamer points. So
there you go.
Racking up that gamer score there.
I broke 50,000. So
nice. Nice.
Whichever one he wants to go next.
I have been playing Sentinels of Freedom, which just came out. Basically a tactics style game based in the Sentinels of the Multiverse card game universe.
Nice.
And you get some of those heroes to join you, and you get to create your own style hero. So having fun with that there. It was a little little rough at the beginning because they don't really tell you everything. Like, hey, the camera will move and you can't really see real well. It doesn't tell you, hey, you can, press these keys to move the camera around and things like that.
They were demoing that last year at Gen Con, and Zan and I got to play it, and he actually wanted to go back a couple times, so I'll have to let him know that that's out.
Yeah, it is on sale, I believe, for the first month. I believe it's $20. And I have put about, I want to say 3 hours into it so far. And I really do like the style of it because they have your base and everything, and the people, the heroes that you take on missions gain experience and unlock new abilities and things like that. So yeah, I'm curious to see where they're going with it. I believe I have finished chapter 1, so see what all of this is. But it really is really quite cool. I have been watching Picard on CBS All Access while I can.
Nice.
And
don't forget to cancel or you'll get charged.
Yep.
Did you do the free month of the no ads one as well?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know there was one. I just have the free. And still re-listening to my Jim Butcher Dresden Files in preparation for our 2 Dresden series coming this year, one in just a couple of months and then one at the end of the year. So pretty excited about that. And yes, my girlfriend has got me now watching Tiger King. So seeing what's going on with that.
I have not been persuaded into that yet.
It's really weird, man. Like, it's just like...
Can you explain just the premise of it? I really don't know what it is.
Well, first off, everyone in there is a dumpster fire. Like, the whole thing from every character top to bottom is just like, wow, okay, you're what humanity came up with, huh? All right. But it's just the story of Joe Exotic, who has this big cat farm, basically, where he's raising, these exotic animals, tigers being primary among them, and, having tours and everything like that. And this person who basically opposes him, named Carol Baskins, and she says that he's, mistreating these animals and blah, blah, blah. And it's the tension between the two of them, and they're both crazy people. So there's that.
Interesting. I've been seeing nothing but ads about it and just haven't pulled the plunge to watch it.
It's really one of those shows where you're watching simply because you're like, wow, people do these things. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So we did the free trial of CBS All Access as well. However, I'm not watching any Star Trek, unfortunately. But Heather and I, my wife and I, are really into Big Brother, the reality TV series. So we're actually watching some of the older seasons that I didn't get to watch because she's been watching it pretty much since season 2. But I only started like season 15 or 16. So watching some of the old seasons, stuff like that. So getting through some of them, and it's just a blast. I love watching them. So other than that, video games wise, I've been playing Apex Legends still. That's kind of what you'll hear from me every time. I've been playing Slay the Spire still. I know, Sean, don't get started. But my biggest thing that I've been doing recently is I started a business with a buddy of mine, a Patreon content creation for a new podcast and everything. So that has really been eating up my time. And so, yeah, that's what I've been up to. Yeah.
All right. Jay, you want to close us out?
Until next time.
Good night, everybody.
Adios. Good night.